Hello, my sunflowers. How are you? Well, I hope everything is wonderful. I hope you had a wonderful, glorious day, and I hope you have a good dinner. How about that?
Yes.
So, with that being said, I really haven't talked about this person as we have hundreds and hundreds of videos that we've done over the last 3 years.
Yes.
3 years. Oh my God. And I'm finally mentioning that burnout point where you go, what to talk about? But what I did see is that we have things on people. Like I got so much stuff on Wendy Williams. I got so much stuff on the Diddies.
Yes.
So much stuff, like, on the Kardashians that, and so I'm looking at when we get older and we get to look back at this, we get to look at what was going on back in that time with those people. And we get to have the archives of that. So with that being said, I said, how can I not talk about one of America's faves at one point, Ryan Reynolds? I didn't talk about him. I talked about his wife, but I talked about him in passing. But I want to do a reading on Ryan. And I mean, he's at this point, at this point, I don't know where he fare in Hollywood. I don't know how his movie. Don't he have a movie coming out?
Yes, he does. I think it's called Deadpool 2.
Deadpool 2. I think that's going to speak volumes. I should wait. I'll come back and do a recap after that, because right now he's not looking good in Hollywood. And I used to think that he was so adorable. I thought he was. I never thought he was funny, but I thought that he had a lot of wit, And now to know that he's a jerk, I don't like him anymore. I used to like him, honestly. I mean, I never was for those kind of movies, but I used to like him, and now I don't like him anymore. And that leads me to think, how many other people feel the same way?
That is true. He's a Scorpio.
Well, I get along very well with Scorpios.
Yeah, they're our neighbors. He was born on October 23rd, so his day.
But I get better along with those that are in November.
True.
Early Scorpios, I don't know. Mm-hmm. But those that's anywhere in November, the 1st, 2nd, 15th, 20th, what I get along better with those in November. Maybe because they are the closest to December.
Yes, that's probably why. He is 48 years old.
Really?
Yes.
How old is Blake? Jeez. What a walla. Whoa.
Blake Lively
38.
Yeah, close. 37.
Okay, because she was still in baby making years. She just had a baby. So I was like, that's the only reason why I guessed that.
11 years apart.
Okay.
She was born on August.
That's not
25th.
bad. That's not bad. She married an older man, but not way too old, but older, mature. Yes.
Yep, and she's a Virgo, so they're also neighbors on the roof.
Okay. Well, she loves him, right?
Yes, she do.
Well, we're going to see. So anyway, Baby Crone, you have to cut the card.
Ooh.
We haven't did that in forever.
I haven't.
Baby Crone, you shouldn't be taking forever to cut cards no more. Remember? Take 5 minutes. Thank you, Baby Crone.
You're welcome. I used to make sure it was really intricately shuffled. Really randomized.
There we go. Now that's it. Now I really did this because I really wanted them to really stand out with me. I wanted them messy this time. That way my eyes
messy
get this messy. Okay, so when I think of Ryan Reynolds, the first thing I want to know, is he a nice person?
That's a good question.
Is he a nice person? I went to this. Yes. Cards says I can only go by what the cards say.
Okay, you can only go by what the cards say.
Yes. And if I go by what the cards say, the card says with family and friends.
Okay.
Well, what do you see?
Yep, that is family and
friends, because you see that, if you look, they're looking out in the neighborhood. They live. In other words, they got a good life amongst themselves. Yeah, so yes, he's a good dad. He's probably a good husband, good son, a good friend. Yes, in their idealistic world. Remember, this is all made up. This is like you're at the pentacles of the rainbow. It's like you're at the rainbows. You got all the colors and BS. because nobody have all the rainbows going at once in their life.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's
you could be feeling
perfect.
a wonderful, wonderful feeling, wonderful everything, but you just got this itch. It's always something that's going to come and go boop, to your rainbow. It could be good for a good while, and then all of a sudden a phone call, I stubbed my toe, hit my elbow, somebody asked me to do something, anything, I taste something, anything to throw off that rainbow. So what I say, he appears to have everything all together. How about that?
Yes.
Next question.
Yes.
This is how I like reading sometimes, where Baby Crone and I just randomly pick and talk.
Yes, I would like to know how does he feel about Blake and this lawsuit that she's got herself entangled with?
Well, the world card showed up for me, and because it's the world card, I got to really, really think about this. And I want you to think too, because this is the world card. And the world card is saying that you have completed. You have come full circle. You're ready to move on. You're ready. So if I'm looking at it from that viewpoint, I'm not going to make a world card a negative. It just seems to me it's like we're ready for the move on. We're ready for this thing to end. We're tired. We're ready. We're ready. They fighting because they got a front. They got to keep the good front. He's got a movie coming out. She's got a movie coming out. So you fight to the depths, no matter what. Even though if all look like it's failed, most people, when you look defeated, you give up, right?
Yes.
But if you don't want to look defeated, you keep fighting.
Yes.
Everybody around you could be like, come on, y'all. Y'all look good. Stop it. But you're still fighting because you know that it's not real. So no, they're not going to stop fighting, but all at the same time, they want it to come to an end. So a settlement or something should be coming shortly so they can move on. Some kind of settlement, some kind of an will be made so they can move forward out of that. Next question.
Yes, I would like to know, has Blake's lawsuit tarnished Ryan Reynolds' reputation?
Tarnished?
Yeah.
No. Okay, tarnished. No. I'm coming into answers. What do I see over here? Because when you said tarnish, it seems to me that it is something coming in. Like it like tarnish is something that happens over a period of time. You know, like you cleaning jewelry or silver, it tarnishes over a period of time. So it's something that's coming in. So, and what was your question?
Has Blake Lively's case
tarnished? And so I feel as though this is something coming inward. So this card is really standing out. But this card here, and I chose to pick the two. I don't know what I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick this one. I see the sword.
Yep. That definitely represents a reputation.
And if I had to look at a sword, yes, because this is the arrow of truth with victory. The swords have to be, this is like the beginning of wisdom and knowledge and truth. This is what the sword stands for. It is upright, as if to say, justice shall prevail. And not only that, it has a crown, a gold crown on it, as in the power of the air, as in being, what is that word, frequency. As in anything that moves, the sword knows it's in the kingdom of air. So has it tarnished his relationship? I will go with this one. Before I even pick it, I must say it could have been a club there, but it was a sword. So because I know swords is always moving and in some kind of embellishment, then I have to say yes. But it come with a but. He blamed himself.
Okay. Oh,
there it is.
Speaking of the wands.
There it is. That's deep.
Yes.
He know he overdid it. He overstepped.
Okay.
Maybe this one he should have let go.
Mm.
You know, he's sitting there looking at, he's like a merchant looking at all what he's done and ready to move on and ready to take on another thing, but he's stuck.
Oh.
So he's looking out. In a way, this is the way it's coming to me with the sun, meaning all this energy. He's stagnated. And he seems to be hyperactive, HTD. That's what I get about him. And so what this case has done, it has stagnated him. He is stagnated. And right now, it's like he's like that sun, that burning star with all of this scene that it's been what? Tarnished. And it's like he overstepped his bounds. He did the most. Whether it was because of his wife, I truly believe it was something his wife wanted. Because she has said, Blake has said, I like to go and I like. She didn't say my husband like. She didn't say my husband like me too. She says, I like to go in and I like to be the producer. I like to take. So I think this is something she wanted. He felt as though he was an easy target. They probably done this before. We seen her do this on TV with an interviewer. Yes. I saw it, and the lady, they just iced her out, and the girl that was with the Parker Posey just went along with it. Because they're actors and they know sometimes we just got to ad-lib with some things. And it's like Parker Posey, like, we cool. Okay, you want to ISO? I'll ISO with you then, fine. And that's what it was. But that's power.
Yeah.
And so right here, he feel diminished of that. He still have that fire. He still have that spark. He still have all of that. He still is rambunctious. He still have the energy of the ram. He still have all of that. But it's like he's tarnished. And how tarnished is he going to be? We won't know until Deadpool.
Oh.
You have another question. How this working for you?
Yes. The next thing I would like to know about Ryan Reynolds is, does he still want to continue with his acting career?
Acting career. You want to go over here? Where? Okay. Acting career. All right. It's a burden. Mm-hmm. Acting for him is a burden. Wow. I'm just telling you what the card said. Mm-hmm. A lot of creativity, a lot of expression, because that's what fire does. It's ever moving, ever growing. And again, you see another here, energy. So here you see, but there's a lesson he had to learn.
Okay.
This is a lesson because I see Saturn. So I see, is that Saturn? Mm-hmm. So I see he learned a valuable lesson. At what cost? We won't know. But right now, acting and all of it is a burden. It's a burden because I don't know if it's because he tarnished his career. I don't know. We don't know. I don't want to say he had because we won't know until the movie come out. And that's how they're waiting for. She's waiting for her movie, A Simple Favor, and he's waiting for Deadpool. And that's how we know. And this will really have to deal with how many people are really invested in this.
Yes.
See, it could just be the bloggers, mm-hmm. and it could just be the bloggers and the news people.
Yeah.
We could be interested, but the population of the world that lives above probably don't even care about none of this.
Yeah.
They probably know hits and bits about it, mm-hmm. but they probably don't follow it. So which the way it is, I think that's what you won't know until it gets out. When that movie comes forward, then the bloggers will come up ground, and then you'll hear. Then the people that's interested in these kind of movies will start hearing a lot of things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So at this point, it's a burden. I don't know, like if he's going to retire. Or do he just want to go into producing? I don't know. But I definitely see a lot of creativity. I see lesson learned. And I see as just moving on, just trying to get up from this. Just trying to move away. Sagittarius, it's like, come on now. You learn what you learned. Get up now. Come on, get on up. Get up. You know, would you agree?
Yes.
It's like
definitely.
no matter what, a Sagittarius is a horse, and that half beast can't stand still and just be idle endlessly. It's got to run, it's got to fly, it's got to do something because it's the animal magnetism that draws him to the wild. So that's why I definitely see it's a burden because he feels stagnant. He's tarnished. He can't move like he wants. So this movie, I truly believe that they betting this here till you got me. Yeah. I think what this movie is based on money, and money talks in Hollywood. Because if it doesn't pull in the money, expected money, it is considered a flop.
Yes.
So right now, I see Wayne with the money, with those movies, hoping that they bring in the money because they're being tarnished on the outside, both of them. Mm-hmm. So we don't know, but this is money. So what do you have to say?
Yes, well, definitely that both of their careers are being balanced and juggled at this moment. And like you said, it's all about the career and if they're going to bring in the funds. It's
about if those movies going to bring it. That's what matters in Hollywood. What matters if that's how they'll tell you about a movie. It could be a good movie, but if it didn't bring in the money, it's a flop. That meant they went in the red. Mm-hmm. So if we're in the red, that's a flop. And this is what they don't need.
Right.
Because they are already tarnished. And if their movies don't do what they want to do, then he really has to start thinking about whatever he's going to do. Maybe he'll be a producer, or maybe they can open up their own company and go behind the scenes, and maybe they'll be good at that. Yeah. As a husband and wife team, and maybe put out the best movie ever because they've learned from what they've done. Hopefully. Yeah. But that's the silver lining. You know, so you have any other question? We got to have another. We got to at least have two more. Do he love his wife?
Okay.
Do he really love his wife? I'm looking over here, or should I look over here? No, every time I pick a card that says pick me, you saying pick me. Okay. 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 I'm going to pick this one too. Now this one slid out. Okay, I'm going to leave it. Okay, and I'm going to put this here. Okay, I'm not going to pick this final card. Now remember, I'm only going by cards, right? Mm-hmm. So whatever I say is allegedly. Okay, the first card that I picked was, do he love his wife? A towel. So that lets me know, again with this, it's a facade. And maybe he is controlling. And maybe all those things they say about him are some kind of true. But whatever it is, it makes her feel like she's in some kind of mental prison with him. Oh. Maybe he is like that. Maybe he is, OHD? ADHD. Maybe he is a person that likes to be in power and be in control. And maybe this has affected her. Maybe they are just right, because here I see a black crow. So she's still listening to something dark. So she's drawn to the darkness. So they got a lot in common. But I think that from what is showing me, just looking at the cards, is that he has to be in control. Not in control, but maybe got to know what's going on in your life. Making sure, putting you in the mindset, making sure nobody's trying to get over you, making sure that nobody's trying to give you something you don't need, or, being an overseer. Death. I don't know if this is going to be an eye opener, where she may wake up and say, I don't want to live under this, and maybe want a divorce. Because it just seems like somewhere in the middle of all of this, she got lost. Oh. And here, when you have the tower and death, that lets me know that it's a woman. And I have to believe, and all her confusion, whatever she brought to the table, whatever, he could have manipulated her. In some capacity. I don't know. I'm just trying to read cards here. And it started with this. Because he does seem like he's the fire and she's the wind. It's like he seems like he could just get all rubbed up, stirred up, and everything. I don't know. I don't know if they'll be able to stand after this. Mm-hmm. I don't know how long their marriage will be able to stand, because this is really, I'm getting to the point I'm thinking that she's blaming him.
Oh.
She may not be. She may not be. But I can only tell you what I see.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And there's that black bird.
Where, like you said, there's things behind closed doors.
Behind closed doors, there's a castle. She feels bound. She's in red, provocative, needing, wanting to be free. You wear this bright color because you want people to see. And maybe he was like that at the beginning, but maybe she did want a Johnny Rescue Ranger and somebody to come in and open doors. But maybe, I mean, this has cost her friend with Taylor. This has cost her.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe sometimes we want, but when we get it, it's worse than what we. Tell me you understand what I'm trying to say, it, baby Crone, because I'm stumbling. Go ahead, baby Crone.
Talking about how once she realized how deep she had gotten into
with Ryan.
Yes.
And how dark he can go.
And how it is affecting her life.
And she's gotten involved, that she's in the midst of it now. Go ahead, I'm sorry, baby Crone.
That she could have even morphed and changed into somebody that she doesn't even recognize.
Right.
So because of that, trying to come up out of that, the tower.
Coming into that reality of that. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, if I stay with you, you'll ruin me. Maybe this is not it. Maybe. But when the death card comes, you got to say, wait a minute, hold up. Major changes are coming. Mm-hmm. Major. And if it shows that this woman is baby Crone.
Yeah.
Don't I have a little booklet over there? Here, baby Crone. It should be one in here. In there. Okay. Read that. Just read it. What did I do with her? What did I do with her? Oh, here she is.
All right.
That is the 8 of Swords. And also you got the Gemini and you got Sagittarius. So Gemini and Sagittarius, they are like, they're opposites. They are mated. That's the way they are. Our opposite is Gemini. I'm Gemini. Sagittarius is Gemini's opposite. So they're always going to be facing each other on the wheel. Masculine and negative. Go ahead.
The 8 of Swords. A woman bound and hoodwinked.
So see, I just want to say, that I'm giving you this meaning. Okay. Did I give the meaning?
You did.
Okay, come on.
With the swords of the card about her. Divination meaning bad news, violent, cargan, crisis.
Enough. You got enough. That's enough. But the main thing is I was correct.
Yes, you were.
So my point is, and with the tower, a tower moment for her to say, oh my God, wow, either we've gone too far.
Yes.
Or it cost me a lot. I should have never listened to you. There's a lot going on with them behind the scenes because they're both are two powerful individuals. She is a type of woman. She's an alpha male. And in all her female movies she always come off like she's bisexual. Mm-hmm. Like you never figure out. I like her movies. I do. Because she's got that way about her. The ones that she played with the blonde hair. Mm-hmm. You understand? Yeah. And I would be lying if I wasn't going to say, I'll be saying the favor to, what was it?
Another Simple Favor.
So yeah, I'm going to look at it. Is it coming on Netflix?
I think so.
Whatever. I won't go to movies and see it, but I definitely know that I'm going to see it because I love the Simple Favor one. And Kendricks or whatever.
Anna
Why would I
Kendrick.
suffer? See, that's why I'm saying a lot of times when you say I'm going to boycott this, you're boycotting other people. Just like with music. Yeah, you may have, I don't want to say the singer, but there was somebody who composed it. There was somebody who did in the background. You're stopping all of that flow. I think that's a silly way. I think that we can love the goodness about something and spit out the bones.
Yes.
I don't think that I can go to movie and be so judgmental of her.
That's true. You could.
And she can win me over. Mm-hmm. She can win me over because that's the power of good acting.
Yes.
And a good script.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if that's the case, then that's good because that's a way I can get over it, put that behind me and move forward. But right now, because they're movie stars, I can put them on a hate list and never see them again. But that's not good for our soul. So we have to be able to release. Mm-hmm. It's easy to release and be angry with you and get over it because I see you every day. But I don't see them. I don't know them. And we go down hating people we don't know. True. So I think to say never listen to their music again, not a cool thing. I think we need to face it and appreciate what it was for in that time and that era. You can't erase things and make like they didn't exist. That's ludicrous to me. You're chopping off such a big part of your history. It could be a song, it could be a movie, or anything that reminds you of something good or something negative. That was a marking point for you to hold on to that. I don't know if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Maybe that was some gobbledygook. But nevertheless, when I see this, I think that there's problems in paradise. And I think that Blake is really having a problem with that. I think maybe she probably seeing how powerful her husband is. I don't know. Maybe it's like we've gone too far. Maybe, I don't know. But I just know that there is something. Let me ask you this.
Okay.
I feel a pull for my question. But is their marriage tangled right now? Tangled, like is there some kind of discrepancy? The cards are showing that it is. Can you verify that? I feel still over here. I don't always know if I pick the right cards.
It's like that when you're picking randomly.
I'll go with this still. Yes, it's Ryan.
Okay.
It's about money and power. It's about not being straightforward. It's about hoarding. It's about power. It's about, I don't care what nobody, it's about arrogance.
Mm-hmm. See it.
Go ahead.
Oh, because just
speak
the
it.
Simple fact that it's the Four of Pentacles that represents
and very strong force.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. In this case, I would see it as like hoarding and possession.
Mm-hmm.
A bit of selfishness and, like you said, power trip, ego,
and that's how you probably see his wife and his family. Mm-hmm. Like that's my lifeline, and I don't know because my question was: is there problems going on in their marriage? That showed out. So it shows the foundation again. He's in control. He's in that foundation. He's given that appearance that this ain't breaking us, but I don't think it's true. I think they have problems in paradise.
Okay. Here you go.
What you want to see?
I was wondering if it was a sun there, and I was wondering if it was Virgo because what's her name? Blake Lively's a Virgo, but it's a Capricorn.
Oh, okay. And you know that Capricorn is on the darker side of nature. Mm-hmm. Okay. And you know Capricorn is earth and very agile. In other words, they live on the edges. They could be in steep mountain goats. They could be on the steep and they are so agile. So you got to understand when you're thinking about this Capricorn, think about it in an animal way, how agile it is, how it could live up, how it used to be the escape goat, how the spiritual ramifications come with it, and how they also use it for baphomet. Why? Because it's one of the most strategic, hardworking, determined of the earth signs, where you have the bull that's just like, I don't think, I just do. I'm just going, that's the bull. That's the bull. When you think of what's the other earth sign animal?
The bull.
The lion.
Oh.
When you think of the
No,
lion, not lion is fire. The earth sign.
Yeah, there's only two animals. The bull and the goat. And then the other one's the Virgo, the virgin, which isn't an animal.
But nevertheless, so I got to go fire. So, and make it even to an earth sign, which we know aiming the fire, aiming the lion as fire, that you just got to look outside of that. So if you take the lion and put it as earth, it's an animal. It comes from the earth. Right? But they're just trying to give you the heart of a lion. So just imagine that lion, that earth and that lion, that bull, and imagine that goat, that up in there. This one is in the highest elevation. So this one is crafty. This one knows how to stay alive in the midst of things. So when you see Ryan Reynolds, you see that it's like he's the master of his castle. It's like I'm never letting them see me sweat, like if I can help it. Because Hollywood have a way of breaking down the best of them. Okay? So if they want you humble, they can humble you. I've seen them do it to Prince, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, you name it. I've seen it, okay? And Chris Brown, so many. Kanye, in spite of what they do to themselves. Do that make sense?
Yeah.
In spite of that, if they want you tarnished,
they will.
They will tarnish you. Diddy.
R. Kelly.
Regardless, all you have to do is slip. And they will rip you up a whole new backside.
Yes.
So I'm just saying. So right now, he feels like wherever he's at, he must be, to me, he probably be a part of the cabal.
You're right. I can see that.
I'm thinking he's in a place where he can be a little confident because of who he had backing him. But we will see. We will see. I'm thinking that he's cool, and I'm thinking his wife is a little bit nervous and like that. And I think for whatever reason, maybe he gave her a jump start to her career. I don't know. But I know she's coming into some truths about her marriage. Is there anything else?
I think that was pretty good.
I think I need a card here. So what will be their outcome? So this is outcome. So let's go over here. So let's go to outcome. Let's take the last card. The last card.
Very last.
I see very emotional. I see a moving on. I see his, I don't know if it is because it comes out with a moving on.
They're going to keep up the facade?
I think so, because I definitely see, what is that punishment? The one that you want to learn, Saturn. I see Saturn and I see Pisces.
Oh.
So when I think of Pisces, I think of two fish, like not like the twins, but two fish swimming in two different currents. And it just seems to me, and Saturn and an 8, another 8. I thought I saw an 8 in here before.
Yes, 8 of Swords.
So it just seems like either they're going to move on or they are going to separate. I don't know if their marriage, maybe not today, give it a year or two. Either way, if they separated, you heard it from me. But whether it's today, whether it's next year or 2-3 years from now, I don't know. And I'm stressing this. It wouldn't surprise me if they separated, because I see out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the 7. No, this is the 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 8. Even though the 8 cards are there, you see that they want you to deliberately play with your psyche and think that there is something missing.
Yes.
Because you see right there in the middle of that 8, you see red and you see blue. Those colors are not there by an accident. They are put there for a reason. So at this point, when I'm looking at the blue, it's like the blue of water. It seems like this is a very, very emotional time for them. And this marriage is taking a hit because they're pointing fingers. She, mainly her, she's very emotional. You know, she just had a baby. So you got to understand, when you just had a baby, you're hormonal, and this is stress. Just imagine a woman on her menses. Those times we don't deal well with stress.
Yes.
You want to blame. We don't know if she suffered with cramps. We don't know, does she get headaches? You know, does she suffer with the bloats? We don't know, but we know she just had a baby. And right here, it's a gap, and it's night. So whatever's going on, it's like everything is clear, but it's darkness in their house. I got to say it the way I feel it. And, sometimes, you try to make it good, but then when you see the tower, then when you see the woman in boxed in, when you see that, and the beginning of it, Ryan, who says, I am the power. Let's see, either he's into some really, really powerful stuff. Because if you see here, look at the sky.
Yep.
Look at her sky.
Yeah.
She's in deep with him. How they going to come out of it? We know that it's finances. We know that. I think that it'll come out. I don't know if this makes sense to you, but I'm telling you how I see it. I think he's a part of the elite. And if he's the part of the elite, then they are bound to protect him.
That's true.
Right? And then I see the sky, clear sky, no rain, but dark. The moon is on its way to getting full, not decreasing. You see that? So whatever it is, it could be dark now. They could be separated in their house right now. She could be angry. You know how you point fingers, but together on stage, they good actors. They're going to put on a united front. And now that I'm thinking about it, Scarlett Johansson, I think that's how you say her name. She said that he was very sensitive. Okay. So right now, can you imagine what their household is like? But you got to put on a front. And I think that this is really hurting their marriage, because I know if I was married, it would be hurting mine. That's not why I say what I say. It's just me trying to make sense out of this. Because if I was married and we in this trouble and my movie coming out, your movie coming out, and you know what, you shouldn't have said that, and you wanted that, you went too far, because you're going to have to start questioning each other.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, we're going to have to deal with us. Sooner or later, we're going to have to deal with what we did wrong. And it'll be, why did you say he did this? It's coming. It's there. But whatever it is, I definitely see a hole. But either way, they didn't have to do it that way, because they just made this where it's alone. And because of that, they didn't even have to do that at all. But no matter which way you do it, it was meant for room to move on. It's an 8. And 8 are about movement. No matter where you are, it's about movement. And I see here that I think that this is a lesson learned. I think they really want it to end. And I think if their marriage can stand this and go through this, let me say this. If their marriage can stand and go through this, then they got a good marriage. But time reveal. I say 3 years, maybe 4. I see things in future. 3 things, 4 years. We'll see. If they could weather this, they could weather anything.
That's true.
That's what I see. Well, that's all I have to say. Do you have anything to say?
No, I think that was a pretty
well. I
reading.
Hope that you enjoyed this reading. I really do. Ryan Reynolds, I had to go there. Been putting him off. So if I can put his wife out there, but I've learned a lot about Ryan. He's very, very strong. He's very determined. And he hides his insecurities with strength and power and money. I think he's a part of the big boys club. That's what I think. That's what I see. And I think that he controls his wife to a point. that he got the power to get her to see something that maybe not there or way, but he sees it. And when he see it, he going to do something about it. My job is, when I read cards, is to get you to see what I see. He's a master manipulator. I hate to say it, but that's one of the things that make him a good actor. That's where his wit come from. He's very witty because he has to always be thinking. He's got an overactive imagination. That's all I got to say. I can go on about that.
I like that.
So with that being said, if you really enjoyed this reading, please give us a thumbs up. Please. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to our station. We really, really appreciate it. We need all the subscriptions we can get. And you know what? We hope you enjoyed it. That's all I got to say. Baby Crone, you have anything else to say?
Please leave your comments down below. If you would like to mention or leave us down a comment down below if you would like us to read on anybody. And you know what we say with that?
You know what we say?
Sunflowers!